Hi buddy, welcome back to Cids Modded Life, Season 2, Episode 140 with me, Cid. That's 140 episodes of me waffling. You guys put up with a lot. Anyway, I'm going to start this episode with a quick comments section, because it's been a couple of episodes since the last one, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So let's just jump very quickly in. So, Pitter Patter, I love that name, Pitter Patter, especially the way you spell pitter. Reminds me of kebabs. Sorry, everything reminds me of kebabs. I like my kebabs. What more can I say? In relation to the railway project, was excited about this project. Can't wait to see how it turns out. Me too, although it's going to turn out very, very expensive in steel from what I can see. Ikorofuma, looks like you got a bug with the hunger not taking saturation into account, as well as a suggestion for the buffers. Hope you popped over to the GitHub about it. I have reported the hunger, which was initially said it was a feature, and then they realised that maybe Saturicity should take saturation into account. So hopefully that will get resolved. And I mentioned buffers as well. In addition to that, I did a little bit of testing in a creative test world with the locomotives, and they break everything, even bedrock. So I've reported that, because that's kind of a little bit of also kind of potentially buggy, you know. I mean, they shouldn't really be breaking bedrock, I'm guessing. So yeah, that's the thing. And in relation to I think it would have been about 138, Terry Love says, I have no problems with at all with 55-minute episodes. Must be nice to be retired, Terry. No, I mean, some people do, some people don't. As a rule, I try to stick to 30 minutes or thereabouts. Sometimes I'm a little bit under. More often than not, I'm over, and on the odd rare occasion, I go considerably over. What's that got in it? These have got nothing in them. Excellent. I like it when they're empty. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. So, last episode, we started using some of the steel, although we really do need to get a lot more steel. And we got as far as that, the turntable. Now, what I want to do over that back edge of this section here is build an engine shed where we can store more engines. And then coming out this way, that track there, you can see I've kind of passed that through over this way. So there's going to be a tunnel. We're going to continue on. There's going to be a turn that goes off this way through the mountain. It might be easier if I show you on the journey map, actually. Through the mountain around about here. And we're going to take a train track all the way up, hopefully past there. I may even put a station there, who knows. That's a thought anyway. That's just kind of my plan. So engine shed, I do want a factory. I'm thinking that we're going to do a lot on this side of the hill, because this is getting quite cluttered, and there's no reason why we can't move further out over this way and start to fill out this area. From here we will take the train track up probably over here, and then certainly over a bridge past the witch hut, past here perhaps, or possibly round, I don't know yet. And then from there it will continue on across the desert up to Olympus, and then I'm not entirely sure how or whether I'll take it up as far as the Guardian farm. We will see, but you know, we've got potential to do a lot of things. There is this chunk over here which we started working on, and it hasn't obviously worked as a squid farm, but we may find a use for a hole in the ground. You never know. So yeah, however, this episode we're going caving, and we're going to go and grab some stuff. I'd like to have a little chance to just have a catch up and a recap. It will give me a chance for some more steel to run through the system, and we should be able to get some more clay. I mean, we have got, not a cow, he says, typing the same thing again. We have got a goodly amount of clay, but I want more, because I'm going to need a lot of bricks to build these brick sheds and stuff. So that's where we're going, and while we're at it, we might as well grab a few other things as well. So Something just lagged then, I don't know why. Anyway, I need torches, so we should... torch. Torch. Can I just make a few more torches, please, if I may? I'll just make a set. I've got my torch box anyway. We've got that. We've got you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some coal. If I take a couple of stacks of coal with me and a stack of oak, I don't know. I mean, how I'm going to live not having that stack of oak, I don't know. And let us go and find a hole in the ground. Now, we might as well try and find a hole in the ground over this way, because I know there are mobs spawning in these caves, so it would seem appropriate. We'll turn you on, and we should find that we are not alone. Come here, bat. So it wasn't the skeleton that I was worried about at all. We will turn those on just so we can see what's going on around us, and it just should give us the opportunity to clear out this massive cave that we've just found. Oops, that was a little bit swift. Doesn't matter, because obviously all of the... Oh, I got a bat germ. Okay. All of that will come through fine at the end. I might as well take... I'll take everything. I'm going to treat this as... Even though we've got, you know, massive great strip mine thing going on, and I'm doing that, you know, big hole in the ground, and we're getting a lot. This gives me an opportunity just to enjoy myself and enjoy the caving a bit. But we mustn't forget what we're really down here for, and that is the clay. We need to keep our eyes open for that. So, catch up time. What's going on and what is not going on? Well, as many of you, how do we say, where to start? Fitness and my general life and my attempts to become a better person bodily. So, as I'm sure many of you who've been with the channel been a long time will remember, I had, well, not to put too fine a point on it, I'm going to just stick a little bit of let me just no, just go there, get rid of that. That's annoying. I had a health scare some time ago. I'm trying to think now, it's what, coming on to 2 years, and I had a angina, and the nice surgeon scared me half to death by saying, well, sir, you have... Oh, have I already been down here? I've been down so far. You have got a couple of options. One option is, well, he didn't actually give me the choice of options. What he did was said, I'm going to do the tests, and hello. What was actually said was, you need a triple bypass. Back at the time, and what had happened is, due to an emergency coming in, let me just try and get this. Hello. Yeah, that didn't do you much good, did it? So I basically took the stance that whilst, if it's medically necessary, you know, fine, go ahead. I wasn't overly happy with the idea of just automatically going to DEFCON 2 when all of the possible tests hadn't been diagnosed. So, long story short, I went in for a second angiogram, where they basically finished the tests, and it turned out that they could fix the problem with stents rather than having to, you know, open me up and use things called rib spreaders, which, as I don't know about you, but I find the idea that anything that involves the word rib and spreader is something I really don't want in my life. So that was the long story short, and after that I did, the scare helped me in that I got fitter, I started exercising, but I have put quite a bit of weight back on. Almost to the point that I was at my worst, if I'm honest. And I don't like that. I haven't seen any clay yet, have I? So I better be ready for the mobs. No, just go clay, just copper. That copper breaks very easily. So I'm back now. I'm dieting properly, or semi-properly. I'm never a good dieter. My problem is I really do enjoy food. Food is my downfall. It always will be my downfall, and such. But I'm dieting again properly. I think it was the first time I went to India actually where I lapsed in my self-care, if you like. And you can't blame me. I mean, they had curry, for crying out loud, and beer, and you know, everybody knows that curry and beer work really well together. You are, but we are full. Okay, let me do some sending backs of some stuffs, but not that. That doesn't want to go back. That can go back though, and they can go back, in fact. So, yeah, because this has got infinity. Yeah, so the current state of play for me is that I'm back exercising, and there's really nothing much else down here, is there? Damn it. Always find the caves which are crap. And in addition to my usual, so at the moment I'm swimming at least once a week, usually twice. This week it's going to be 3 times because we've got graduation on in the university, which means our sports facilities are not available, because they use the sports hall for the graduation ceremony, and we're not allowed to play squash when they're doing graduation ceremony because somebody shouting bollocks at the top of the voice when they miss a ball, you know, might distract the ceremony a little bit. So sorry, it's just a little mental image I've got there of that happening. John Bollocks Smith. Yeah, that probably wouldn't go down too well. Anyway, so in addition to that, I have now decided to bite the bullet, and I am running. I've decided to try, well, at the moment I'm working to get to the point where I can do a 5k. I may then try and do a 5k run for charity or something, just to, you know, make it kind of worthwhile, if you like. And yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm doing the old, I don't know whether you may have come across this, you may not, it all depends on where you are from in the world, but the BBC have a program called Couch to 5k, which is essentially the premise that, you know, you are a couch potato, and they're not a million miles wrong with me, if I'm honest, and you are trying, we should probably go and have a snooze first somewhere before I go hunting for another cave, and we're trying to get to the point where we can do a 5k run. Now this week, and this is, I heard that, this week is, my first thought was actually that doesn't sound that difficult. My second thought, after the first run on Monday, was, my God, that was difficult. So yeah, we learned that we are probably not as fit as we see ourselves in our own mind's eye. And I'm sure that's a fairly common thing, to be honest. I'm sure many people see themselves as being considerably fitter than they actually are. But it is definitely true for me. Hello? Who's there? Anybody? So that's what I'm doing. I've done my second one tonight. Incidentally, the first week is, and it does sound surprisingly easy until you actually try and do it, is you do a 5-minute warm-up walk, followed by 60 seconds of running, followed by 90 seconds of walking. You repeat that 7 more times, so that's 8 60-second runs, 8 1-minute runs, 7 90-second walks, and then you have a 5-minute walk cool down. You do that 3 times in the first week, and believe me, it was a damn sight harder than I ever anticipated it would be. It really did surprise me just how unfit I was compared to what I thought I was. So yeah, that's where we're on. I'll keep you posted on my success and or failure on that, because I'm not naive enough to believe that I'm going to... Where are you going? Come here. Damn you. No. Well, made a hole. Oh well. That's what happens when you try and talk and rattle at the same time. Let's have a look in this cave. Oh, we'll find a cave to go down, a good one. No, I won't. That's the same damn cave. Oh, what's down here? A very, very tiny cave, which is now lit. Okay. So that's where we are health-wise. Work-wise, still at the same job, still doing the same thing, and still largely, for the most part, happy. You know, it's quite a satisfying job role. So, yeah, you know, nothing to complain about there. Well, there's always things to complain about. It's work, let's be honest. But nothing major to complain about. That would be probably the better way of describing it. What's going on down here? Something perhaps. So I've certainly not been down here this session. So that's that. Work-wise, as I say, just busy as ever, and I don't think anybody's any different. I'm a little bit. And I'm not sure how I feel. I don't know whether you've heard anything or kept abreast of this crunch working that is apparently the rife within the gaming industry, and I'm not sure whether I'm misunderstanding. Oh, hello. Misunderstanding something or not, but I always found I've found that typically most jobs require you to put extra effort in periodically, a la, you know, a crunch, urgent job kind of thing. I don't think, I mean, maybe I'm being naive, I don't know, but oh, we've got an update and they want me to update. Well, they can wait. Just bear with me a second while I say snooze. Bye bye. Windows updates for the win. Yeah, so not entirely. What's the best thing to do down here? Probably stab a torch down for starters, because that one's not going to auto stab. Interesting. Not hugely interesting, but interesting nonetheless. So we've got a big old ravine down there, which is always, ravines are always a good source of potential lootage, and more importantly potential clayage, which is what we're after. What was I saying? Yeah, so I don't know whether this is a problem that has always existed. I mean, I've always kind of, you know, we have times when we can work, that it's easy to work, and times, you know, when we have to really pull the stops out to get things done, because that's the window of opportunity. I mean, take where I work, for example. Summer is our computer room refurb time, because bye bye. I want to get rid of all of these flows for starters. Get rid of the flow. Oh, hello. There's a lot down there. Oh, this is potentially a very good place. Let's go over here a little bit. And then we'll pop down and just plug that. Plug this one. Bloop. And that one. Bloop. And then we'll just... Ow! When flying, exercise care. Flying near lava, please exercise care. That should be a motto, shouldn't it, somewhere in the world. Anyway, yeah. I need some more. Bang. 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 That should keep us ticking for a while. What was I saying? I've completely... Oh, crunch, yeah. So we have very specific times during the year that we can get into the computer rooms, and at the moment they're getting... That kind of timing is getting eroded by other demands on the room's time. So it's... if you work at uni or you've been anywhere near a university, you will probably realise that summer is conference season. Summer is when all of our facilities are not being hammered solidly by teaching and students doing dissertations and whatever it may be, and so consequently we tend to hire that capacity out to others, and that's fine. It's not usually a big problem, but of course the more conferences they book, the less time we have to refurbish computer rooms. So consequently, we are getting less and less time, and when we get the time, it is more all hands to the deck, noses to the grindstone, get it all done. Now that, to me, sounds like the definition of crunch working. And I don't think it's anything new. I think it has been a thing. There's somebody very close by over here. It's been a thing for years. People have deadlines. That's just how the world works. And obviously games manufacturers, well, to take those because they're always nice. They're pretty little decorative items, aren't they? I'm sure that is the same, and even more so for games, in the games industry, where... Oh, hello. How are you doing, sir? Not so good, I see. Okay. Right, what we got going on here? I need to make sure... we've got plenty of torches, so we may as well just make sure this place is lit up while we hunt around. Can we see any clay immediately around? Clay should be fairly common. Oh, come on. This automatic torch is great, but it doesn't always work as advertised. Oh, there's a nice hole there. Nothing much going on there. Motorcycle going past outside. That or creepers have learned to drive Hondas. So yeah, that's kind of what. Yeah, I don't know. I see things and I think they are there's a lot of journalistic reporting. I use the word loosely of non-issues. Now, I don't know what everybody's opinion is on loot boxes, for example. I can't imagine it's ever going to be good, but I can't imagine any set of circumstances where it would be good. There's some clay there. There looks to be some over there. I think we've hit clay pay dirt over here, but we've also got Mob City, which is something we need to keep in mind. Flight helps a great deal, of course. Always does, really. And having lots and lots of stuff to do things with also helps a great deal. That lava flow actually helps us a great greatly down there as well, I would say, because it has cleared out an awful lot of the crap. Yay! Go lava flow. We need to have a quick sleep. Because we are technically outside. So, yeah, I mean, this loot boxes thing, how anybody can not think that that's gambling, I really do not know. It's a bizarre thing. So, anyway, I want to ask you a question now. And I've asked this before, and I can't remember whether I've ever really got an answer. And I'll probably ask the question over a few of my different series, just so we kind of get a representative feel from different people, because I recognise that a lot of you watch the same, or watch the series, all of the series, and some of you probably watch, you know, say Terra Firmacraft more than any of the other ones, and that's fine. You know, I'm the same. I like watching kitten videos. No, I actually do like watching cat videos, but that's by the by. I'm a big softer when it comes to fluffy animals, especially ones that are actually vindictive, evil-minded sons of bitches. When you actually really get down to the brass tacks of a cat. I mean, if cats weren't cute, you know, they wouldn't get away with half of what they get away with. People would just realise what nasty little things they really were, and treat them accordingly. But they're not. They're cute. They've got their little fluffy, cute thing going on, and I'm trying to figure out that. Do you think what's going on there? That is just a lava flow, isn't it? That's been done. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I'm going to just sit there and try and get some more resources, because I'm kind of waffling, which is, you know, part of, let's be honest, that is pretty much what YouTube is about. Recorded waffle and constructive building. Let's not look at that Enderman too much. And I shall be back with you once I've got this lit up and found somewhere else to go. See you in a minute. Alright, so I've just been sat there, well, not sat, working, mining up the goodness of kind of working down this ravine. This ravine, by the way, is huge. There's multiple, there must be about 5 or 6 intersecting ravines here, which is great for the purpose of mining. But I realised that I started off, or ended the last segment by saying I wanted to ask you something, and then got completely distracted rattling on about cats, which is, you know, not a bad thing to get distracted by, but not particularly shiny, but fluffy. Fluffy is as good as shiny. Anyway, before I get distracted again, let me ask you what I wanted to ask you. And that is, would you be interested in an AMA session? Now, as I said, I've asked this before, and I've never really got enough interest to do it. And I'm not vain enough to say, you know, to consider myself, you know, as big as some of these other guys who can garner all sorts of questions and all of that stuff. Oh no, I don't think that. But you know, there's a lot of you who've watched me for a while and know some of the, you know me reasonably from what I put out. But I'm sure there must be things you don't know about me that would be of interest to you and other people. And you know, it gives me a chance to rattle about. Well, you know, like I need an excuse to rattle about anything, but it gives me an opportunity to, you know, to do something like this, where we can just sit there and take a chilled session and answer questions, and I will answer almost anything. I don't think there are very few subjects I consider taboo. You know, clearly, what's your address? That one's not getting answered. And I do sometimes question the wisdom of some people who post videos that actually include visuals of their homes, because we live in a stalker world, unfortunately, and there are people out there who are incredibly adept at working out secrets from 2 or 3 pictures of a road sign and a couple of front doors. So, and for that matter, people out there who would sit there and just go through Google Street Maps, you know, trying to, if they knew a rough area to go through, they'd literally go around the thing. I personally don't get it. It's a thing, but you know, I don't understand it. But then again, I don't understand a great deal, a great many things. So that's always a thing. Now I'm just basically piling everything that I get out of here into this box. So yeah, would you be interested in an AMA? And what would be the best format to request said questions? Would it be a video to start off with saying, okay, I'm going to do an AMA, ask me anything, and I will do my best to answer it within reason? Is that a way? Or would we be better saying tweet? And I recognise some of you don't have Twitter, so, or don't use Twitter, and some of you don't want anything to do with Facebook, you know. And there's an awful lot of, I mean, I noticed recently Vasky has finally ditched anything Facebook and moved entirely onto Discord. I'm not quite there yet, although I don't really use Facebook. I don't get it. But I do use WhatsApp to keep in touch with the family, and yeah, I use a few things, and Insta to post stupid pictures. So there you go. Latest one being a picture of my practical use for an iPad, which, if I remember, I will try and pop on to the end of this video. I probably won't remember, so you'll have to remind me. It's not that good. It was just we got a broken iPad at work, and I just thought, well, could you actually, what good is this actual device? What could we do with it? So hence that was born. Well, you don't know what that is, but you will do if I remember to put it in. Right, so AMA session. I need to continue getting the clay and mining. I have waffled on too long, and even though Terry doesn't mind 50-minute episodes, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'm not sure whether there was anything else I wanted to talk about. You know what? If there was, it will come back to me, I am sure. But as you can see, this ravine is big. It goes on that way. And then if you go down over here, we've got another one going that way. So there's lots of stuff to play with down here, and that looks to me to be almost down at diamond level. So this ravine is massive. It's going to keep me busy for ages. But right now, I mean, we've done reasonably well. We've got a couple of stacks of clay already. There's more there. So yeah, but it's been I've enjoyed having the opportunity to talk bollocks, so to speak, not, you know, shout it playing squash over a graduation ceremony, although you've got to admit that is a relatively amusing idea. I'm not sure, you know, these zombie villagers, does it me, or do they sound particularly deep voiced? Is it almost like Barry White's come back as a zombie villager? Oh, hello. How are you? I see you, witchy. And you're dead. Oh, I think there might be another zombie villager, though. Hello. Bye-bye. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I will endeavour to come up with something. In the meantime, I may do a large AFK session on this game at some point, just to let the steel kind of build up, because the railway stuff is becoming increasingly steel. Well, it's not becoming, it is highly steel dependent. And as such, we are going to need way more. Way more than we've got. But in the meantime, I can be processing a whole load of clay. Hello, clay. And making a whole load of bricks, so we can at least be building some stuff around the railway idea. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon, and bye for now.